it plays out. In the meantime, I'm here to guide you through this journey of love and speed runs. Delta's timer started, and then his gameplay started later, which is interesting. I guess we'll just go by the timers. The timers, they usually sync up the timers here momentarily, and then we'll have a good old Luigi's Mansion match. I am going to apologize in advance. I'm expecting a package to come to the door, and if that package does come to the door, you're going to hear a surprisingly loud dog barking. I will mute my mic as fast as I can, but I am going to warn you, if that does happen, it's going to happen. All right. So you see a little bit of variance here in strategies as we go through the beginning here. Most of them, I believe, they're both doing scare skips. They pull out their camera, and then when the ghost spawns, they turn around, and it stops Luigi's scare animation, thus making things faster to set up. I didn't even explain the category. What a garbage commentator I am. Category is no out of bounds, as you see below where it says Luigi's Mansion no out of bounds tournament. Pretty much what that means. It's the most common category run in this game. And you gotta get 40 boos, beat King Boo, get to the final boss, get some credits, and do that all without going out of bounds. There's an out of bounds glitch early on in the game that lets you beat the game within about 9 minutes-ish, or a little less. And that is banned in this category. You'll see some cleanly executed doubles, and I lied, HTDelta missing that double there. Commentator's curse, I guess. And we move on into the wardrobe room. You'll see on purpose not getting a double there. It's actually a cycle base, and only that right ghost, that right orange ghost, sets the cycle. So it's faster to target that one first, get that suck up finish, and then set yourself up for the next double. Get the next double cycle started, I should say, the spawn timer, and then suck up the orange ghost while you wait. And he'll drag that key over to the door and make his way to the Area 1 hallway, where we're going to see our first portrait ghost of the mansion. Portrait ghost, a little bit different than the ghosts that you've seen so far. I know so far we're only 2 minutes and 30 seconds in, but they are just a little bit different. They usually have 100 health and a little bit tougher to suck up. Each of them usually has kind of their unique little quirk to get them sucked up or to activate, you know, having their heart show or things like that. You can't just shine a flashlight on them. So here, going into Neville's room, we're going to back up. When you're not facing at him, he'll show his heart. He kind of yawns. We don't give him the time to do that animation. We just back up into him. As soon as his heart shows, we go ahead and suck him up. Generally, in a corner, it's easier to suck up these portrait ghosts. Just have a little more control over them. And then, of course, both runners, once they have the final suck-up animation, they do try and get as close to the chest spawn as possible. Here with Lydia, you'll see a little bit difference. You have to actually open up the window for her to freak out. And she's like, there's a breeze coming in! And so she freaks out and then shows her heart, again, sucking her up in a corner, going right in front of the chest, and grabbing the key to go to our first area boss. Area 1 is quite a quick area. Fun fact about the Lydia room, it's actually a little bit more difficult than it looks because there's quite a bit of lag. For some reason, the GameCube and the Wii just don't handle that room well. Something with the wind coming inside or something. But so you actually have to time your controller flicks to suck up the ghost accordingly, every 10 health to control the ghost and to optimally suck up the portrait ghost. Shooting the ball at Chauncey. Gonna go ahead and activate the cutscene to get into the boss fight. Boss fight's a little bit different than anything you've seen thus far. It's 100 health, but not one cyclable. Even with task tools, we haven't been able to get a 1 cycle on Chauncey. So the optimal way is a 2 cycle. And to keep that first cycle above 50 health, They do that on purpose because if you go below 50 health, you're going to get a slower second cycle. Chauncey's going to shoot 3 sets of rocking horses instead of 2. So that's why you're going to see, we'll look at Mini here on the left side. We're going to see Mini first instant catch this ball, shoot it, and then keep the health above 50. So he's going to back up here after the second ball, shoot the ball at Chauncey, and right at 55, nice safe. You really don't want to go under 50 there. It's slow. Then you'll see the runners getting hit on purpose by Chauncey to lose their money. The less money you have in the next segment, the cutscene in between areas, the faster the money counter goes. Generally, you'd like to have no money at all, no pearls either, and then it saves like a second-ish. But both runners did pick up a pearl. Mini gonna use his invincibility frames here by getting hit by the rocking horse and do the instant ball catch and suck up Chauncey without a problem. And just for proof of concept, HTDelta on the same side here, gonna also walk up, knock on the crib to keep his invincibility frames back up. Not quite as smooth, but still same concept applies. The ball stays in place and he goes ahead and finishes up his cycle there. And then we get this cutscene every single time we finish an area. The ghosts get pushed into the machine, mainly the portrait ghosts, and then get turned into frames, and then he looks to explain it quite slowly. And then we get a money counter, and the area changes, and some things in between the mansion change, and technically the map kind of changed, but anyways. This will be our transition into Area 2. Area 2 going to be categorized with a little bit more of RNG involved, as we're going to be releasing the booze into the mansion. More on that later. But also the gameplay definitely gets ramped up a little bit too. A lot more things that are a little bit harder to execute than Area 1. This is where the real meat and potatoes of the run start to come in. A lot more of the tougher mechanics of the run. Area 1 is just like the, all right, we're doing it, but now once you're past Area 1, definitely more of the intricacies start to come to play. So you're going to see Mini come over here into the corner, get both of these ghosts to spawn, purposely get grabbed, and then shake him off as fast as he can to set up a double, and then position himself ready to grab that key and bring that key over to the door. You see HTDelta similarly doing a scare skip also. Ooh, and actually, unfortunately, misses the double and does miss the one that grabbed him, so that goes despawned. Has to wait for it to respawn. Luckily, respawns pretty quickly. Not a huge time loss, just kind of annoying when that happens. Little like a self-confidence demotivator. You'll notice Mini did a scare skip there, actually, and moved up at the same time. Just a little optimization. Unfortunately, didn't miss that first double. Couldn't get the mask off the further Shy Guy. But looks like he's going to recover okay here. And going to back up, make sure not to get hit there. And did back things up okay there. Let's see Delta as well, setting up, does get his first double. Quite frankly, I'll be honest, looked over just a bit late, didn't see if he did the scare skip. And Mini not getting early release. These dancing ghosts can just decide whether or not to show their heart 10 seconds earlier or not. And it's totally luck. You just get it's a 50-50 chance it either happens or it doesn't. There's no rhyme or reason. This could be HTDelta's chance to come back a little bit, and HTDelta does not get early release either. I lied about everything. It doesn't exist. It's a myth. And, you know, that's okay. You'll see Mini hitting that bucket. If there's a poison mushroom in there, it gives it a chance to kind of move around so he's not stuck in this corner with a poison mushroom bouncing at him. Did something called a poster skip there. He actually, through the wall, sucked up the poster on the button that he has to press in a minute here. And it's fast. Because otherwise you have to suck up the poster while walking up to the button, and then you have to pull back and it wastes a couple seconds. But sucking up the poster through the wall in between spawn cycles of ghosts. Wastes no time, saves time. It's good for everyone involved. It's a nice wholesome way to save time. And so now hitting that button on the wall, we're releasing all 50 boos into the mansion. Good job, Luigi. You did it. I'm proud of you. So these boos are going to be in almost every single lit up room inside the mansion. They could be in an assortment of different spots. They each have different health, different strategies to take them down, and we need to get 40 of the 50 of them. Well, technically 25 because Boo Losses is 15 of them, but we need to get a ton of them to beat the game here. And this is where a lot of people start to say, oh, Luigi's Mansion is so RNG based because they can be in random spots in each, well, a set of different spots in each room. And but if you know what you're doing, you can kind of figure out patterns, where to check, how to read the radar, and it'll work out. So you see here, there is a lump in the table here for Mini. He's still going to check, and he does get perfect RNG here. He's going to pull the tablecloth a little more than halfway off. He's going to suck up the boo, then the tablecloth, and get a tech skip. That's beautiful RNG there for Mini, exactly what he wants to see. And when you suck up a tablecloth after getting a boo, it does skip the text. There are multiple instances of seeing that. You'll see Delta saw the lump in the table as well. The lump in the table means there's a 50% chance that it's going to be in, that the boo is going to be in there, but it could also be a distraction like you saw the bomb come out. So Delta just decided to take that 50-50 shot, pull the tablecloth off, and unfortunately got punished for it because the boo was not in there, and he lost not only the first spot, but also the tech skip as well. Mini, having great RNG in the first room, actually had pretty poor RNG in the next two rooms. So that's just kind of like a bummer. You get perfect RNG and then get slapped in the face by the game. Delta also not having great RNG. That left wardrobe really kind of sucks. Those boxes, pretty straightforward. You should be able to hit them all, or most all of them with your vacuum pretty quickly and find the boo. It can only be in the boxes in this room. It's not a big deal. This is actually a bigger deal than it seems. This boo, hopefully it's in the chairs, and it is. You see he skipped those first chairs because he read the radar when he went into the other room. So he just walked right past them. Luckily, it wasn't the second set of chairs. Otherwise, you have to double back and go check the painting in the middle. There's only a 20% chance, so we checked that last. But ideally, you want them to be in the first chairs, and it doesn't look like that was the. Obviously, it wasn't the case for Mini, but it doesn't look like it's going to be the case for Delta either. And I'm a liar. I read the radar wrong, and there it is. Ooh, that could be really bad. That could be really, 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 really bad. It's really bad. So it escaped into a room that's not lit yet. Delta not quite sure exactly what to do. He needs a fifth boo to get into the washroom. So he's going to have to go to Area 1 hallway here to go ahead and get that fifth boo. That's a huge, huge time loss for Delta there. Because not only does he need to get this boo, which he was going to get later in the run, to open up that door to get the key to where Mini is now, and the RNG is not helping him either. But then he has to go back now later in the run, once he finishes Area 2. He has to go back to that ballroom to still get that boo because he needs it in the route for the end of the game. So that's a huge, huge time loss. Not fun. That's usually a reset at that point for most people. You saw he was kind of walking around for a second, didn't really know what to do. No bueno. You'll see Mini spawning the fire medallion here and sucking up the boo at the same time. Gonna go ahead and save and quit, so he skips the fire medallion text and also sets up a good cycle here, consistent cycle I should say, for the butler coming up. So he's gonna grab the fire. He's gonna make his way into the fortune teller room, light the candles to grab the key, and then the if everything is done optimally here, the butler should be at the end of the hallway for Mini to go ahead and light his candles. And overall, everything, just about the whole thing, saves time. Yeah, that Boo escaping that 6 HP definitely puts Delta in a tough position. We saw Mini trying to light the candles and kind of come around the corner, but the fire didn't quite hit the hitbox the first time. But that was kind of the move as far as he can, as fast as he can, to get as much done in as little time as possible. You know, speed running in a nutshell. This room that Mini's in here, although not difficult per se, if you mess up, it can be very, very punishing because that butler is on a cycle. And if you miss this double here, he got it. If you miss that double, the butler can despawn. Going for a little chest cutscene skip there, but just short of hitting the Mario hat hitbox. But he does open the chest still to stop from watching the cutscene again. And still manages, you know, gets everything done in time. Maybe lost like a second from not getting it, but it's not a big deal. And you'll notice he hit that top left spot first. It sounds dumb, but I swear it's not proven, but that Boo definitely has a common tendency to be in that top left dish cabinet. It just does. And another great RNG there for Mini. Delta actually doesn't go for the hat skip, grabs the hat right away. And let's see if for the chest cutscene skip message. And then Mini, because the Boo ball's on the way, doesn't go for the Laundra Boo tech skip. A great RNG, yes. So you see Delta opening up that chest as well. I didn't talk about that mouse hole, but when you suck up a Boo, only on the Japanese version through that mouse hole, you do get a tech skip as well. So that's why we activate the mouse hole and bring the Boo inside it as we're getting the suck up animation. There's the reason. Mini activating all the oh, I said dish cabinet. That is absolutely a tool chest, not a dish cabinet. Anyways, Mini activating all the instruments, gonna play a beautiful song for Melody. And she's gonna launch her sheet music in the air. You gotta either burn or suck up all the sheet music, and then her heart shows. And bada bing, bada boom. So we check the top right first because it's the most, you know, convenient and optimal RNG. And Mini does get it, which is nice. Oh no, that's bad. That is a bad situation. You're gonna hope that this Boo goes up here. And he's not going back for it. I'm not sure exactly where it went to. Running into lugs as well. We do just skip lugs entirely in this. So now they're both at a Boo disadvantage here. Interesting that that fire didn't connect. I feel like I should have. Suddenly, that's definitely what HTDelta needed. Very interested to see how things play out in Area 3 with those Boos that are missing. So when there is a boo missing, and it goes to a different room, after you complete an area, and I know you could just dump the air there. I guess it was the dog bowl. Interesting. Anyways, when there is a boo missing, it does reset to its original room and its original health after each area completion or after each save and quit. So that's why you saw Mini just leave it be, because he knows where it's going to be after he completes Bogmire coming up here. What a funky double that was. But it works out. Everything's fine. Sometimes a flashlight just likes to extend to reaches beyond belief. And here we have our second area boss, Bogmire. Controls, again, 100 health. This one is one cyclable, but controls a little bit differently. Definitely likes to pull Luigi along and likes to break away pretty quickly. A lot of people do different things for this boss. Some people still use only control stick, but a lot of people do use the C stick to suck up the health as well. And just it's weird, kind of just like a different AI, and it's a deceivingly tough boss. Even some of the top runners don't always one cycle. But so far, great control. Actually getting dragged around a little bit, but it's okay. He does suck up Bogmire in a one cycle, and he'll be moving on to Area 3 here. Definitely a weird race, to say the least, here. Just on terms of, you know, boos escaping and things like that, and things maybe not going according to plan. Sorry about that. Now we have Delta setting up his... Ooh! Just a little bit off on that stun block. And gets smacked in the face with a bone. And then spraying water, and things are just happening. Almost gets an improvised double there on accident. Doesn't. I'm going to go ahead and spray water, get that ghost out of the way, and just get the hell out of this graveyard. And HTDelta, you'll see going into his Bogmire fight. Let's see if Mini goes up and gets this boo up here before he gets into the other parts of Area 3. And that's exactly what he's going to do, knowing that the boo respawned in here. And of course, getting slapped around a little bit by RNG in the meantime. The game punish. HTDelta getting dragged a little bit, needs to regain control. It's going to be a 2 cycle. Oh my goodness, that was crazy. Now you'll see Mini grabbing water here, and I'm going to use that water to also not have to climb down the stairs. Luigi will just fall if you have the vacuum or an element out. And you get a little glimpse of the end game goal, which is pixelated Mario in a painting. He's real sad about it. And instead of crawling through the mouth there, which he totally could do, instead he goes through another half hour of nonsense. So, sucking up the ghost, grabbing the key, he's going to come up the ladder here, and we do see a stumble skip. He does what's called a flashlight skip. which I guess I haven't really explained. If you spray an element, do a hard L press before the flashlight comes out, you actually skip the flashlight animation. Each time you do that, it saves about a second. So very important throughout the run to really get as many flashlight skips in as you can. Did it again there, and now he's gonna shoot water through the ceiling. And let's see, Delta does go back into the ballroom to get this boo that he lost at 6 HP tragically last time. And there it is. Mini spraying water while he's flipping to spawn the other ghost on the left side. And Delta is now caught up on the boo route. Not caught up to Mini, but he is caught up on the boo route. And good find there from Mini, reading the radar well. Activating the chair through the chest with his vacuum. Definitely a good play. And grabbing the ice element, which like to move oh so far away. And if you pay attention to Mini, he's now making his way downtown. He's walking fast. Faces are past, and he is homebound. But no, it's over. Opening up the curtain and freezing Petunia in the bath. No one likes cold baths, and so she shows her heart. And that's that. And here's a little bit of a weird boss. You have to hit Nana with 3 of her yarn balls. Ooh, very cool there. Actually, pumping to get that second yarn ball to really just fly right into Nana. And you'll see Mini checking the right side of the room first because there's a 75% chance that the boo is going to be on the right side and gets rewarded for following math. And decides to just pick up that ghost right away. Sometimes people do a thing where they freeze that boo, open up the chest, and then get the key kind of while they're getting the boo. But everyone has their own way of doing things. I know there's some pearl lock going on with that, and I don't know if he just wanted to be safe, but either way. Delta having a little trouble actually hitting that flashlight on that ghost there. Sometimes the hitboxes are a little bit tricky. You see Mini angled himself in a way that both ghosts would spawn there after the cutscene. Because the ghosts won't spawn if you're facing them. That's why he's spinning around in circles as well. I would say I like this room because people handle this last set, this triple set of ghosts here. Everyone does it a little bit differently. So you see Mini sets fire to all of them. And then usually while they're on fire, sucking up the masks. However, he did get bonked, so they did have a little second to move again. And luckily that boo was in the candle there because finding the boo in this room when it's in the candles is just a pain. The radar is super funky in this room. And now locking onto the moon. I'm going to go ahead and destroy it. Beautiful moonshot. Looks like the HTDelta had a little bit of trouble with the yarn balls there. You actually, if you do mess that up, you have to leave the room and come back in to reset the yarn balls. Then you get that cussing, and you gotta wait. It looks like the boom might have just switched into that cabinet there for Delta, so that worked out nicely. Also not freezing the boo. Gonna go ahead and get the boo first, then get the key. Neither of them want to lose any more boos. You see Minnie making his way down toward the projector room. We're getting to the later half of Area 3 now. It's funny, the mechanic in this room. You're supposed to use like the shadows on the projector, but if you just look at the dust of where they spawn, you can kind of just keep track of them. And set things up pretty easily. Beautiful RNG there. No pun intended on the boo. Beautiful. And now Minnie will make his way into the Area 1 hallway. Area 1 hallway is going to consist mainly of getting the boos from the rooms that that you didn't get previously, but also there's one set of portrait goes to the twins, who you will have to waste time with, and their garbage RNGs, but Delta taking his time here lining up his shot, making sure to not miss there though. And pays off because he does get the first try moonshot. Minnie entering the twins room now, it sounds like. Little choppy obviously, but I'm trying to follow along. Does move himself closer to the door. And accepts the twins game. From there, he opens the door, and there are 5 boxes. If the box shakes, then the twin is in there. So far, it looks like pretty good RNG, and it was the worst RNG. You want them to be as close together as possible, and that was as far away from each other as possible. Having to check all 5 boxes is slow. Getting the car twin first, because if you try and get the plane one, I almost guarantee you the car one will run you over while you're getting the plane, dude. It's just it happens. Landing himself in the corner here, hoping for perfect RNG. There's a lot of checking spots in that little corner, and it pays off for him. He does get good RNG there. And gets to the boot just fine. Go ahead and grab Mario's shoe. The final item of 5 items that you pick up, that you've been picking up throughout the mansion. Felt a little bit of trouble with the double there. Not a big thing. I don't even think the ghosty spawned anyways. Oof. That painting is just the worst spot behind the chest. The radar reacts awkwardly to it, and it's just weird. And Delta getting smacked by a boo, but luckily the boo doesn't escape here, and he does get the Mario glove and the boo at the same time. Bad RNG there, unfortunately, for Minnie, but he'll go ahead and get his tech skip here in the corner. Ooh, I lied. He actually accidentally sucked up the sheet first, before the boo. Luckily, though, it wasn't a long text. If you get long text in that room, it's quite punishing. Delta skipping that first room because he had to get the boo earlier on when he missed the ballroom boo. So the slight quote-unquote advantage is he doesn't have to go there now. Obviously not an advantage, but he'd much rather have gone there now than earlier. So on Mini's side, you'll see he's going to be talking to Clairvoya for about 1.5 minutes here. Presenting all 5 Mario items to Clairvoya, and then she'll be like, I have helped you. Let me sleep in your vacuum forever. And yeah. In the meantime, Delta got perfect RNG for himself in the twin room. And is going to go ahead and suck up the twins. And dragged a little bit by this dude. But still gets him just fine. And finishes up the room quite nicely. I shouldn't say finish up the room. He's still got a boo. I think the boo switched from the spot it was in as he was checking it, which is always annoying. And does turn his vacuum to the right there to avoid most of the pearl locking on there. This boo does like to escape pretty quickly if you lose track on it. So Mini's done with the text matching, and Clairvoya is like, okay, thanks, and great RNG too. You can see he definitely gets this boo first, because although it's only 40 health, this boo, if you leave it alone for half a second, loves to bolt away into the mirror room to the right. It just does it. It's so annoying, but it just floats away as fast as it can. As fast as it can. Delta similarly getting poor RNG in this room, just like Mini did. Hopefully he can land this tech skip, though. Give himself a decent amount of sheet left over, and he does get the tech skip. Mini grabbing ice here for the next room, the T... not the T room, I apologize. The Safari room. If you do forget that ice, it's punishing. You have to go all the way back down to get that ice. It's a good old time loss. A lot of newer runners do forget that ice, and it's funny to see every time. Spraying the ice before these ghosts spawn skips the element, and therefore skips the element removing animation. So it's definitely important to do that, and it's fast. Gonna hand it finished by the chair here, and unfortunately no go. The boo wants out and pushes him. You'll see the ice freeze strat I was talking about earlier. He froze the boo in spot while opening up the chest to get the key going, and overall just end things closer to the door while having the key in hand. Now moving into the Area 3 boss fight, Boolossus. It's a conglomeration of 15 boos made into one larger boo. Pretty easy if the game doesn't decide to screw you. Like if you do, there's no... The inputs itself are self-explanatory, and as long as you kind of play it right and play with an open mind and think quick, it's pretty straightforward to one cycle. As long as, you know, the ice doesn't screw you or a boo doesn't get stuck behind the unicorn statue. Those are the two things that would make things a little more difficult. So see Mini bolting straight to the right here. It's going to bring the Boolossus up where he wants him to be. Ice spawn looks okay. Yeah, definitely good. He's going to grab the ice and set up an angle here as he walks straight back in a line. Angle his vacuum up, shoot the ice, then sprays a little bit more ice to get any of the remainder ones. It looks like there's only one left or two left. Yeah, and he gets a one cycle. Obviously it was a little choppy, so you couldn't really see it well. That's how I was trying to describe what was happening. So that'll conclude area 3 for Mini. As he moves into area 4 here. Not as many ghosts, but the ghosts are more difficult. And Delta, of course, still finishing up area 3 here. Oh, just a little bit far away for his flashlight to work on that garbage ghost. Spawning the key and spawning the boo. So he can end by the door. And as Mini makes his way really back up to that boss fight, I'm actually going to put the audio here on Delta, and we'll kind of focus on his Boolossus fight here. Basically, I got the 1 cycle. Exactly. So you're going to see Delta moving to the right just like Mini did. I spawned a little bit far away, but it's still in that straight line path, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Yeah, he'll just have to set his angle a little bit quicker. Does his first shot and walks forward and sprays, but does miss. He got kind of stuck on the boost. He should go up here and try and get those 3. Does get 1 of them. So there's still 3 left, and it should be a quick 2 cycle here. He'll stand still, let the boost charge at him. Just like that. 1 left. And that'll be the 2 cycle. Switching audio back to Mini here. So the power's out. And all the ghosts are kind of just spawning recklessly in the mansion. He's making his way to a ghost called Grimly. He can randomly show his heart spawn anywhere from immediately when you walk into the room to like 50 seconds. And here we go. So that was a nice and quick Grimly. Exactly what you want to see. You know, anywhere between like 1, 2, 3 seconds. Obviously, nice. And so now he's going to head to the basement to go ahead and turn the power in the mansion back on.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Turns the power back on, grabs the key. And goes to the cellar room. Doesn't go for Breaker Boo 1 cycle. He has a strong enough lead here. And a beautiful double on those pink punchers. Manipulating the ghost to charge and sets out the double. It's a cool strat. Hoping that boo ball doesn't get in the way here as he's sucking up this boo. But everything's fine. Now Mini has to make his way all the way back to the top where you fought Boo lost, and just a little bit beyond just to progress the game. So a lot of walking in Area 4.
Mario.
A lot of traveling.
Mario.
So now HTDelta heading into his power out section. Here you see Mini and Delta. They're going to high five each other in the hallway. And bam, high five.
Mario.
And Mini will make his way to the toy soldier room. Got the RNG ghost spawn, my favorite. That ghost in the hallway just decides to spawn sometimes. Just because, why not? Okay, let's see Delta's Grimly here.
Oh yeah.
Well, he's taking his time. Alright, not terrible. About like 6-7 seconds. Looks like whether he wants it or not, he's going to be forced into getting a double here. I can't believe I am eating my words, but he is not getting a double here. I really thought no matter what was going to happen there, it was going to turn into a double. The words just nom. Gone. I just ate them. Burning the Shy Guys because it's fast. I'm gonna go ahead and spray both of those. Ooh, accidentally getting hit by the fire element here. Kind of sets things up a little weird. He's trying to still set up this double. Oh gosh, it's all happening right now. He still does end up by the ladder though, so he will start the ladder climb during the chess cutscene.
Mario.
And the moon is back, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Okay, oof, awkward spot. Okay, the Boo kind of came back, so this should be fine for Delta. Does move a little bit closer, kind of by the door, just to make sure that that Boo doesn't double cackle and escape.
Mario.
As Mini enters the armory room, where you need to execute things pretty well, especially with the lag that's in the room, similar to Lydia's, but this room is a lot harder because there's a lot going on.
Mario.
And now you'll see him setting up a triple, lighting things on fire, and then bam, easy triple, easy clap. RNG, not really working with him too much there, but does find the Boo. And then you have to make sure you pump nice and slow here because of the lag in this room. You can't just pump in that kind of natural rhythm that you do with other Boos. Otherwise, you're going to wind up getting some double cackles and the Boo will escape. But Mini handles it just fine. He's going to save warp back down to the basement. Well, to the main lobby and then the basement. Give me 1 second here.
Mario.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. So you see Minnie not actually clearing this room, just gonna grab the key and get the hell out of there. And Delta actually setting up the double nicely. And now Minnie in the second to last portrait ghost of the run. Looks like a spike is gonna fall right on his head. Ah, yeah, there it is. This one's a little tricky. It kind of pulls like Bogmire, but then you also have ice physics to mess you up. But he manages it just fine. Gets the one cycle, actually sucking up the pearls, because you definitely don't want to mix Pearl Lock on with ice physics on a 150 boo. But sure enough, the pearls are still doing their thing. Looks like it didn't affect him though, and he should have this just fine. And yeah, he does. So we'll save warp because it's fast. And then he's gonna head to his final ghost, which is again up some stairs and a little ways away here, which is Van Gore. For the lore of the game, Van Gore creating all the regular ghosts inside the mansion by painting them. So you're gonna stop Van Gore from painting out the regular ghosts. Anytime Delta looking for his boo here in the armory room and does find it in the middle here. Oh, that might have been a double cackle there. I don't know if this is going to be one cycle. Oh, probably another couple double cackles. Yeah, that boo is out of there. So definitely hoping this boo goes back to the left here because the room on the right is not lit up and you can't get the boo in here. So now we're hoping it goes up, and it does. So he's going to get the boo in the toy soldier room and just save warp from there. Beautiful first triple here for Minnie. All these ghosts will spawn in sets of 3. And so you just have to get a bunch of triples, and then Van Gore himself is pretty simple and straightforward. You just suck a bump in a corner. No special inputs or anything. Sucking up the mask quite nicely, and all these suck-ups really, relatively have been pretty good. Yeah, a very clean Van Gore here from Minnie. Sucks up Van Gore, spawns the boo. 300 health boo, so it's gonna have to be done in 2 cycles here. So get this boo as low as possible. You'll see him like, oh, a couple double cackles. You'll see him stop pumping now. But generally want to, you know, let the boo travel a little bit. If you leave 1 cackle left over, you can let the boo travel and suck up a little bit more health. Boo's nice and low to the ground though, so it should be A-okay on the 2 cycle. I almost commentator cursed it. It's very close there. So now Mini will make his way to the final boss. Delta just finishing up Weston here. This Boo is just going all the places. Probably got a couple double cackles there. So I don't think it'll be a one cycle, but I just did the oh, it was close.
Mario.
Luckily, both rooms on the left and right side of wherever it works out fine. They're both lit, so. So Mini gonna get a low 58 here as long as he 2 cycles. And I don't want to say it'll take a lot of things going wrong for HTDelta to catch up here. But it'll take a lot of things going wrong for HTDelta to come back here. So now Delta going into his Vangor fight. Alright. So King Boo should be done in 2 cycles. It's a 500 HP Boo more or less once you stick the spike ball in Bowser's face. King Boo comes out of Bowser's head. Starts R pumping to keep things in place in 246, so that's a pretty good first cycle. Should be a nice cleanup on the 2 cycle here. Unless he gets hit by ice. He can get hit by ice. But he doesn't. And he gets a 58-12. And he will advance to losers round 4. Just updating the bracket here. But yeah, that'll be a GG. In the meantime, we have HTDelta, of course, finishing up the run. It's funny, the distraction spawned at the same time as the boost switching. Delta didn't quite pick up on it, but you heard like almost a, I don't want to say double cackle, because it wasn't double cackle, but that's just the fun of this game. Speaking of double cackles, a lot of double cackles there. Still does get down to 152, so he can still 2 cycle this. Ooh, does 1 extra R pump there than he probably should have because there was a double cackle at the beginning. And it causes the Boo to leave a little bit faster. Gets bonked, but does finish things off here. And as if a slap in the face, he gets told about Vangor after beating Vangor. Gotta love the irony. So if HTDelta 2 cycles here, we're going to be looking at about a mid 102.
Mario.
And we'll go ahead and head into the King Boo fight here. Okay, sorry about that. So we'll see Delta as well, grabbing the ball. Hitting Bowser in the face. Quabam! $267. So yeah, that that 2 cycle will be rough if he goes for it. I'm assuming he's gonna go for a fast 3 cycle though. Keep the King Boo above 200 HP here. Definitely keep King Boo above 200 HP here. Ooh, playing a dangerous game there. And that'll be a dot done for Delta at a 1 of 320. If they wanted to come join me for an interview, now would be the time. If not, they don't have to. That's fine too. But that will be the end of this match for Losers Round 3. Mini versus Delta. Mini goes on to Losers Round 4, where he'll go up against either Snap32 or Giga_7K. Will Snap32 show up? Only time will tell. And looks like I got both racers here, willing to talk to me, love me.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Let's talk. How's life?
It's pretty good.
Pretty good. Mini, you won. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
It's funny you did get that 58-12 even with the
Yeah.
Melody
my
that's second time in the tournament that happening, right?
Yeah. It's my second best run I've had in no out of bounds, and I fucking missed Melody Boo. I've done 3 races in this tournament, and 2 out of those 3 I've missed that Boo.
Well, hopefully next one we're gonna get that Boo on lockdown.
Yeah, but other than that, I'm really happy with that run.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a well-executed run for sure. I always get excited when I see that perfect RNG on the first Boo too.
Yeah.
Then just to get slapped by Wardrobe Room, but still.
That's what this game does to you.
Speaking of getting slapped, man, Delta, that ballroom Boo, huh?
Yeah. I don't really know where to start.
He just
like
bonked into you and left.
Yeah, it's just disappointing for me because like I've been like the last like month or so, I've been playing like 6 out of 7 days a week. I've been like really trying to get like a time below an hour because I'm very close. I'm at 1:12, but it's like every time I do a race, it's just everything I know just goes out the window, and I finish like 3 minutes above PB. But yeah, I had a couple of boos run away from me. I don't know, just kind of all
Hey, man,
fell
stuff
apart
happens.
after that.
Stuff happens, and that ballroom boo I've seen, even to world record holders, I've seen that ballroom boo just fail.
Yeah.
So usually that's an early reset point, and unfortunately you can't quite do that in this situation.
Yeah. But that's never happened to me before. I've never had that boo leave before. And like nonetheless go
It was
left.
funny, you were looking and you're like, what do I do? Where do I go?
I know, and that's why I was like, oh geez, I need a 5th boo, and I'm like, I guess I have to go to Neville's room. And
Yeah, no, I mean that's what you had to do. Unfortunately, that was the only place.
I'm glad I realized that on the spot instead of going to the bathroom and realize it's locked. And that would have been like, that could have been worse. But yeah, good game to Mini, and thank you to everyone who's put this together, and Speed Gaming, the entire LM community. I've been really happy to partake in this tournament. This is the first tournament I've been on.
Is this your first tournament?
Yes, it is, and I was very happy to participate in it, and I'm definitely going to return next year if there's one.
Oh, there'll be one, I'm sure.
Awesome.
GG.
GG.
All right, GG to both of you. Mini, looking forward to see you go against. Like I said, if Snap shows up, then maybe Snap. If not, then Giga. Who knows?
He doesn't.
And then and onward and more. We have another match actually coming up in about 15 minutes here. I have no idea who's commentating it, so that'll be interesting. But it is going to be here on Speed Gaming 5. If you are interested, it does start at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Like I said, about 15 minutes from now. In the meantime, we're going to sign off and get things set up for that race. So make sure if you did enjoy these runners, feel free to give them a follow. They do both stream. And I put I guess Speed Gaming did, put their links in the channel. And we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you so much, everyone. And take care.
Bye.
Goodbye.